today's lesson is going to be another science experiment. Since we have so much snow on the ground, I thought it'd be a great lesson. Again, this is a different jar of snow. Notice it's all the way up to the top, but it has started to melt just a little bit, but it's still pretty hard in there. But this lesson is about when snow falls. Do you ever watch it? Do you ever go out and let it land on you and then look at the shapes of all the different pieces of the snowflakes and how they're all different? Well, if you go out in your yard and you just took a handful of snow that's not packed down like this is, and you could tear it apart and look at it in the sunlight, you could see little crystals in there. And each of those little crystals that fell out of the sky, they're unique and they're beautiful. And it's what makes snow so amazing, is that it all comes so naturally out of the sky, and it's so uniquely different, but also uniquely important, because it all comes together and it makes a beautiful snowfall. Well, guess what? We are uniquely beautiful. And how do we know that? Well, because God tells us that in the Bible. He tells us that He made all of mankind. He made each of us. He knows every hair on our head, and that each of us are precious to Him. And we all have differences. Some of us have green eyes. Some of us have brown hair. Some of us have red hair. Some of us have tiny feet. Some of us have medium feet. Some of us have large feet. We're all different. And He created us uniquely and beautifully, and He gave each of us talents because of those uniqueness. So let's look at this. This is our verse. Now you are the body of Christ, and each one of you is a part of it. And that's found in the New Testament, 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 27. Well, what does that mean exactly? Well, it goes back to what I said about each individual snowflake. Well, this snowflake is a beautiful snowflake, and it's gold. And this snowflake is a beautiful snowflake, and it's white. And I have another one in gold. And these are all made similar because they're artificial. But the point is that if I could make a snowflake outside and bring it in and keep it just one snowflake, you would see that every one of them is different. And that's the way God created us. He created us to be different and bring different talents. And all of those differences come together, and we work together, and we can do good. And that is the beauty of our uniqueness. So if you think of somebody having a talent that you don't have, or they can do something you can't do, think of it like this. God made us unique. He gave each of us different talents, because with those talents we come together and we can do really good things. Because we're all a part of body of Christ. We're all working together for his teachings, to do His work, to be like Him. And that's why He made us the way He made us. And in our church, we have a lot of different people that make up this building of our church. And we all have different jobs, right? Well, we're all unique because we can do those different jobs. For example, Mrs. Nelson does many jobs in this church, and I couldn't do some of those jobs, but that's okay. We don't have to do the jobs that everybody else does, because God gave each of us things that we can do. So what I want you to think about with this jar of my snow here that I brought in for you is to use your imagination when you're thinking about what snowflake you are and what special talents God gave you. Oh, you don't know yet, some of you probably. We're all discovering talents. And when you think about what those talents might be, just be so happy and think about what you're going to do with them to make other people's lives better as well as your own. And then that way, you're following the teachings of what God tells us. We are all together doing His work as individuals. And He loves us because He created us, and we are precious to Him. And with that, go out and find some snowflakes.